Good morning. I welcome you all to the second day of the webinar series titled Alumni Connect Our Pride, Your Inspiration, organized by the Postgraduate and Research Department of Commerce, Ethraj College for Women. It's a pleasure to welcome Ms. Veena Kumaravel, the lady who has made women realize that taking care of us is as essential an activity as any other that we engage ourselves in. I now request Dr. Sharmila Radhakrishna, Associate Professor, Department of Commerce, Self-Supporting, to introduce the speaker to the gathering. Thank you.
Good morning and a warm welcome to the participants. Yesterday, being day one of the webinar, the session was graced by Mrs. Vishaka Hari, an eminent Harikatha exponent who, through real-life examples, restated that failure is the stepping stone to success. She also emphasized the importance of our ancient scriptures in today's world and how we have still so much to learn from them. Today, we have in our midst one of our most distinguished alumna, Mrs. Veena Kumaravel, founder, Naturals, one of India's leading beauty salon brands. I'm extremely happy and proud to introduce and welcome her. Mrs. Veena, along with her husband, Mr. C.K. Kumaravel, founded Naturals in the year 2000 and from then on has successfully expanded its presence pan-India and abroad with over 600 outlets. She is a pioneer in the business of unisex salons in India. Naturals has adopted the franchise model of doing business, and today most of Naturals' franchise partners are women, which augurs well with the company's vision, that is to promote women entrepreneurs. In line with this vision, Mrs. Veena, along with her team at Naturals, plans to establish 3,000 new salons run by 1,000 women entrepreneurs, providing more than 50,000 jobs. Mrs. Veena is also a recipient of numerous awards. To name a few, Best Southern Region Emerging Entrepreneur Award by CII, Retail Entrepreneur of the Year Award by Franchise India, and Brand Achiever National Business and Service Leaders Award. Ma'am, on behalf of the Department of Commerce, I cordially welcome you to this webinar, and I'm sure this session will be an engaging and enriching one. I now request Ms. Varsha, final year student of BCom Self-Supporting, to take over after the audio-visual presentation.
Hello, ma'am.
Hi, good morning.
So good morning, ma'am. It's my pleasure
Yes,
to.
Good morning.
Yes, ma'am. So I would like to know about what are the best moments in your college life, ma'am?
First of all, good morning to all the participants. I think it's a big honor to be here as part of this webinar, and I'm a proud alumni of Ethraj College, I should say. Back then, if you look at, I was the batch of 84, 87, and then commerce was a new stream, and not many colleges had this. And Ethraj was one of the best colleges to have, BCom. So everybody was rushing to get into this, to this course. And fortunately, we got in, and because of our decent marks, I think I got it as a day scholar, And at that time, when I got it, I thought day scholar means big deal, we've got and all that. But later I realized that the evening college was more fun, and a lot of my friends got into evening college, and they actually had more fun though. Yeah, but we also had a good time. We were a set of 6 of us who were backbenchers then, literally backbenchers. We were sitting in the last row, and we had the best of times during classes. Very fond, happy memories of college. And I would say Ethiraj had both, it was freedom with discipline. So we had as much as good time, freedom, but we were also decently disciplined. So that was a good part of it. And a lot of fond memories we had. In fact, all my friends, we still in touch. We, in fact, had a Zoom meeting a couple of weeks back.
That's
Each of one is across the world. So it was good time. And even during that time, we were collecting those good times that we had at college. Yeah.
That's lovely.
Yeah, that's nice.
How did you conceive the idea of opening Naturals?
So basically, it was not something that we would. I mean, I was dreaming of doing, starting a salon, because I did definitely wanted to become an entrepreneur. I completed BCom, but I didn't pursue a higher study. So I knew I would not be getting, a great job in any company. So I was wanting to, anyways, become an entrepreneur, start something small on my own, and that's how. I was thinking of probably at that time, what was more popular, was play schools, starting off a boutique. These were things that you could do from home and with a little support, and not too, big finances required for it. So that was the thought in mind. But if you look at during that time, saloons were basically run by small women, beauticians actually, and mostly in their homes or in small places. So you find these places generally very not very hygienically kept. Products used were not great. So even I used to visit such places. Even in college, even close to college, we used to go to Fountain Plaza. There used to be one small saloon which had just probably one room, and everybody was cramped inside that. So otherwise, it was in big 5-star hotels. Taj used to have a saloon, and go there to get your hair or skin done, it was a big, very prestigious this thing to get an appointment and go. So it was like two extremes. So that's when we thought, why not start a salon, a standalone one, with good facilities, good product, hygienically maintained place with good products. And that's how the whole idea of starting a salon came up. And fortunately, at that time, I had somebody who was a friend in Taj, and she was moving out. So she said, I'll come and be your technical person. So when she came out with that idea, we thought it was a good time to, launch a salon. And that's how it started. That was a thought, and it came up, the idea, which, then became a dream.
Yes, ma'am. With that thought,
Yeah.
how did you come up with the name for the company Naturals, ma'am?
So Naturals, because basically I like using a lot of natural products, and initially we also wanted to be different. We wanted to give a lot of natural products in our services. So one of our very popular service was a fruit facial, and that was the kind of the star product or star service that we were launching. To differentiate us from the rest of the district, because so that was one of the reasons that we wanted to name it Naturals. And Naturals has a good, I mean, people believe in herbal products, so that was
Still.
the thought. Yeah, still do believe in herbal products. So we thought that would be a good brand name for a salon. It will give them the confidence to come to a salon, when you say you're using good products. But of course, today it has all changed. We use a lot of branded products, and
Yes.
but good quality, and hygienically, tested and prepared for us, basically.
Yes, ma'am. Having said that, how did you raise funding for your venture, ma'am?
So, see, initially when I started, it was the investment was huge. It was for we were looking at the prime location in the city, that was Kadar Nawaz Khan Road, and today all the brands are there, and even then it was like a high street. So since it was closer to Taj and we wanted to give services which were similar to Taj, we thought, okay, that would be the right location. So we had to get a bungalow at a pretty expensive rental. And not only that, the whole project came up to almost 30 lakhs, and that was a huge investment to be made. So and banks at that point of time didn't respect this as an industry. They thought saloons are generally run in small neighborhood places, so why would we need so much money? So we did have a lot of trouble getting, funds from banks. So it was basically family and friends who supported. We borrowed from friends and families, and that's how we were able to start off the first salon. And like that, up to two saloons we managed with our own funds and this thing. Then we approached a bank. Uh, approached a bank meaning many banks. We had a lot of number of banks, almost up to 30, 40, I think up to 54 banks. And then one of the banks were supportive and gave us funds to start off 3 saloons. So after that, we launched 3 saloons simultaneously. Spencer Plaza was one, Adyar, and then one in Alvarpet. And so then we totally had 5 saloons after a span of 4 years down the line.
That's really nice.
Yeah, so that's how it was. But yeah, basically it was funding from friends and families initially.
That's nice. Now, being an entrepreneur, how do you balance your work and personal life, ma'am?
See, now it's all settled, so there is a team. Everybody is
But
there
back
to take
then-
care. But initially, yeah, back then, I was fortunate in the sense my parents were very supportive. So the children were literally grew up with them at home. And the biggest advantage of being an entrepreneur, I would say, is you have your own time. It's flexible. You don't have rigid timings. You can go in, when you're whenever you're needed. And similarly, if you're needed at home for the family, I think you'll be able to take time off and come. So that way, entrepreneurship or doing your own business gives you that advantage. So
Yes.
it was pretty flexible. So whenever they were needed at school, both of them were small. My daughter was probably 3 and son was 7 or 8 years old. So, but yes, in the initial years, I had to spend a lot of time in the salon because I was learning myself. I'm not a trained beautician or a hairdresser. I was learning everything on the job from the team there. I had to be there literally from morning till we close. But it was fun.
That should have been tiring as well.
Yeah, but it was, when you enjoy what you're doing and you're learning so
True.
much, it was a lot of fun. So your time just went by. Though the children today sometimes do tell me that, what did you do for us? It was all my grandparents who took care of us, cooked for us. But then they also eventually know that today the business is there only because we spend that much time there.
Yes.
And,
How did
So a lot of-
Etraj? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
sorry, a lot of people feel guilty about it. I think there's no need to feel guilty about it. You're not totally ignoring your family, but you have to do something to get your own identity. So there's nothing wrong in or feeling guilty about letting others take care of your children.
Yes. That's nice.
Yeah.
How did Etraj motivate you in the journey of entrepreneurship?
Etiraj, earlier we did not have this EDC, cells and those interactive
E-cell,
programs,
yes.
but e-cell and all that. But then we did have a lot of, those, what do you call those, FET-like things where we used to have stalls.
Yes, ED
collect
Bazaar.
funds. Yeah. But it was not called ED Bazaar though, but it was other way of having it in a yearly fundraising this thing. So we used to put up stalls and all that. And my friends, we all used to get together, and there used to be this Mexican restaurant opposite in that Wellington estate, in opposite college rather. So we used to hang out there and say, oh, we should start something like this. We should do business together. So it was, always there at the back of the mind. And the college also had a lot of programs which encourage entrepreneurship. So I think, yeah, from college we always had that thought in mind.
Yes, ma'am. And now we have a lot of opportunities, ma'am. In college, we have a
Yeah,
lot of
right now.
yes, ma'am, clubs
Yeah, and
and
you have a lot of. I've come for the your EC. What is that? EC Bazaar.
ECL and ED Bazaar, ma'am.
ED Bazaar.
We put up
Come
stalls.
couple of times. Yes, very. I mean, today, yeah, you have a lot of opportunities to bring out entrepreneurship. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. We would like to have a piece of advice on time management and utilizing opportunities in entrepreneurship career, ma'am.
So time management, I think it's an individual. Yeah, I mean, each individual needs to
Yes.
know how and what is important to her or him to, and give prioritize that and then work accordingly. So today, I mean, you definitely need to give time for home and other activities, but you also need to know what is more important. Sorry, I think I.
No problem,
So,
ma'am.
yeah, so how to manage your time is your own personal, this thing. But you don't need to. I feel you should not be feeling guilty about spending time on yourself. So today, everything it's an overall thing. It's just not about your work. It's about your health. It's about spending some time for yourself to do what you like
Yes.
to do. It could be anything. It's like hanging out with friends or shopping or doing some hobby, learning something new. I think we don't have to feel, as women, a lot of us do feel guilty that, oh, we're not, we are taking too much time for ourselves, or your generally society basically says, you should be doing this. They will be telling you, you should be doing this, you should be doing that, and make you feel guilty about not about when you spend time with yourself and with what you want to do. I think that is your choice. You should somewhere give enough time for yourself to do what you want to do.
Yes. Totally
And
true, ma'am.
I mean, whereas as an entrepreneur, basically you need to spend a lot of time initially in your business. So that's when the business is a baby, it's growing, so you'll need to have to spend a lot of time. There's no timing as such. It is I mean, it could be probably you have to come in earlier, or you may have to probably stay back late, but you should be willing and to give in that much time. So that much of sacrifice and effort has to be put in the initial phases. But after it sets, then you'll have more flexible time, and I think that's how most of it works.
Yes, ma'am.
You're,
Ma'am,
you're
moving on.
muted. Your audio is not coming, Varsha. Can't
It's
hear
not.
you.
Is it audible now, ma'am? Is it audible now, ma'am? Ma'am, can you hear me now? Ma'am, am I audible now?
You can hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
I can't hear you.
Ma'am, am I audible now? Is it audible now, ma'am?
Or can you probably put the questions out on that thing till you get it sorted?
Yes, ma'am. Am I audible now, ma'am?
Still not audible.
Uh, yes, ma'am. I'll just.
Yeah, now I can hear. Huh. Yeah, Varsha.
Ma'am, is it audible now, ma'am?
Yeah. Fine now.
I'm not able to hear you, ma'am.
Mine is. Can you hear me now? Yeah. Can you
Ma'am?
hear me? Yeah. Can you hear me? Yeah.
No, I'm not able to hear you, ma'am.
Okay, I can hear you.
Okay. Okay, we go ahead, ma'am.
Okay.
If you're given a magic stick, what are the three things you would like to change in the world, ma'am?
One, I would love to have a clean green world. A beautiful city which is clean and green, good environment. Um uh, that is one most for me priority, I would say. And secondly, I would definitely want to have a good governance. Uh, and thirdly, I we see a lot of homeless people. I would like to see uh, a world where there are less of homeless people or no homeless people without food and home. I would see a world free of that.
That's nice, ma'am.
So,
Moving on to the next. Who's your what are your favorite pastime activities, ma'am?
pastime activities would be I like reading, gardening, going out with friends. We have a lot of school and college friends we're connected with, and yeah, I like a lot of art. I mean, I like to do a lot of interior. Interested in interior, so I like to do small things at home, changing things here, picking up artifacts and all that. And yeah, those are the things that I like doing. Now you're muted. I can't hear you.
Ma'am, I'm not able
Ah,
to
yeah.
hear you, ma'am.
Now I can hear you, but again you got muted in between. But the rest can hear.
I'm not able to hear you, ma'am. Ma'am, you're able to hear me, ma'am?
The rest, yeah, I can hear you.
Yes, ma'am. Now it's fine, ma'am.
You can hear? No,
Yes,
I can't
ma'am.
hear you now.
Oh, you're not able to hear you.
Yeah.
Now, ma'am?
Who is my? Okay, yeah, I can hear you. So,
Yes, ma'am.
okay. If you look at a role model whom I would look at in terms of business, and why when we started Naturals, who we looked at as a role model is this a person called Anita Roddick. She started the
Yes.
Body Shop products.
Yes, ma'am.
So she was our role model. We wanted to start something on a similar line. So everything connected to natural products, the fragrances. I remember going to Body Shop. Then was an imported brand where there were no shops in India. When we had traveled somewhere abroad, and when you enter a Body Shop, the fragrance in that shop would just blow your mind off. It used to be
Yes.
awesome. So we always thought we should do, a brand like that, have natural products for skin and hair care. And also, Anita Roddick had a very franchising model. She was one of her business model was on a franchise model. So we kind of lot of things that we took out from her model of business. So our franchising model was also, based on her business model. So she was one of my earlier, if you look at, used to hear her audio cassettes, and she was a big inspiration in starting this line of business, and our product line. In fact, we still want to make a product line which is similar to Body Shop, and take it internationally. Besides that, my mother-in-law is a great entrepreneur. She was always doing some business or the other. Till the age of 80, she was always trying her hands at different businesses. So she was also a big inspiration. And other things from home, of course, grandparents, my mother, the patience and is all that you learn from family, grandparents, parents, my mother. You know.
That's wonderful, ma'am. Ma'am, and considering all the current situation, since salon services are terribly affected in the crisis,
Huh.
what's your post-COVID business strategies, ma'am?
See, today, yeah, the whole model of business or the whole world has changed, and so everything is pre corona, post corona. So we had to, I mean, we did open our saloons we were allowed to open from June 1st. So the priority today is the customer's safety. So hygiene takes the top priority.
Yes, ma'am.
So everything had to be remodeled to see that, the customer has a safe experience inside the salon, right? So we had to work out all the protocols, the health protocols. From entering the saloon, we had given them complete disposable, what is that? Those disposable suits to mouth masks to feet cover, shoe
Sanitizer.
covers to hands, yeah, everything sanitizer, and the whole, and everywhere inside the saloon we had to remodel to see that they were spaced out. They don't sit, generally the
Social
chairs are
distancing. Yes,
lined up.
ma'am.
So, yeah, so the physical distancing had to be given. And then, okay, you don't work without AC for some time, at least I don't know till how long, but we had to. So now to look at, I think we have to design saloons which will have to be taken to all these features, where we need to see that we have redesigned. Actually, we were to launch a express model of saloons. So today we have redesigned our whole infrastructure, I mean the interiors,
Idea.
to suit the post COVID situation. So the private spaces, partitions in between, everywhere we had to keep in mind that people don't touch the doors. So
Yes.
all that has been designed. We've got a nice design with all that. So I think henceforth that will be the way of life. We'll need to so that is one thing. And everything is going to be basically digital. So even advertising, marketing is going to be totally digital, because earlier we used to do a lot of paper ads, and but today I think everything goes digital. So our marketing will also be predominantly that, because everybody's on Insta and social media. So
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
yeah, we'll have to work around that, and also look at probably reinvent and restructure. Maybe we'll have to look at home services if required, because people may fear coming to a salon. So we have to adapt to that. So we're looking at encouraging home services. Retail will be very important at the salon, because salon business will have to be complemented by retail sales. So we're looking at tying up with brands for retail sales. So we
Oh,
have talks with Nykaa, where we will be having a Nykaa counter in the salon, so customer comes in can pick up products
oh,
which
nice, ma'am.
are there line. Yeah, so these are some of things that we've been planning out. So once the lockdown again is open, then maybe we will start executing these things.
Yes, ma'am. What tactics in marketing in your business you feel, I mean, has brought the success, has been very successful?
So for us, if you see, when we started Naturals, we were very new to the industry, very new to this saloon industry. And I would also say that in a way we organized this, it was a totally unorganized sector, beauty
Yes.
industry. So we kind of uh, organized the whole industry. And a lot of things that we did was not what a regular saloon would do. So for us, what worked out best was gift vouchers. So we had this gift vouchers which we used to give for every new saloon opening in the neighborhood. So it used to be with a like a
Promotion.
Spencer's, yeah, or a Reliance. So this used to be inviting customer to come and try our services. So this we did from the first saloon, and till today we do that, and that works out very, very well for us, because a customer wants, in the neighborhood would want to come and try out a new place. You have to give them something that they would want to come and try. So we used to give them a complimentary service. Today it is a discount offer, but earlier it used to be a complimentary service, so they could come and take a service and see. And then if they like it, they will continue. So once they step in, then it is up to us to convert them and make them your loyal customers. But to bring them in, this really worked for us. And today, I think everybody, it's a norm. Any saloon or any business that opens today definitely gives out a voucher to invite customers in.
Yes.
So yeah, and a lot of things that we tried. We did. Our presence in the media was always very high. So we've done this way back then when we had this one saloon. We used to have this beauty on wheels. So we had this similar to a home service concept where people who couldn't come, since we had only one saloon, was sometimes people found it difficult to come across the city. So we used to have a bike and fitted like the the Domino pizza thing with a box fitted at the
Okay.
back. So the beauticians used to go home and do services for customers who couldn't come. And besides that, we also had this beauty on wheels, which is a tempo traveler, which we converted into a saloon setup inside. So we used to take that to wedding halls. So the bride did not have to come to the saloon. Generally when a bride comes to the saloon, it'll, it'll get delayed, and then you'll find them coming late for the reception, and people complaining. So we thought, okay, why don't we take it there? Because in the mandapam, lightings would not be very good inside the room. So we had this setup where we had everything provided in a van. So we used to do that. We used to take it to colonies. We used to take it to colleges in the outskirts of the cities then. So this was when we had one or two saloons. Then, of course, once we expanded and we had saloons across the city, we did not find the need to use this thing. But of course, home service is coming back. So these were some of the things that we were always very popular in media, and the brand became very popular that way.
Once you get established, then it's that the such things are easy to get started with.
Yeah, but initially to somebody to write about you, to make you popular, you need to keep innovating and doing things. So we did try a lot of new things, and we still continue doing that. I think that's one of our forte.
If you like, if you want to give a piece of advice to someone who's wanting to become an entrepreneur, what would it be, ma'am?
Entrepreneurs should be willing to take a risk. So, whenever we get a franchisee who wants to start a business, that's what we say. If she's been working somewhere and she wants to start a business, so we tell her, first you have to get out of the employee mindset and become an employer. Get into the employer's mindset, because as an employee, your salary will come on time. Everything is
Schedule.
fixed for you. Yeah. Whereas when you become an employer, you have to be your keep your mind open to various situations that come in. So you are the one who will be paying salaries, and your employees will have to be taken care. You handling your employees. Sorry,
No problem.
my screen is shown.
Yes, ma'am. Now it's fine.
I think your your voice is cut off. I'm sorry. I think I've got a call in between, and because of that.
Is it audible now, ma'am?
Is that fine now?
Yes, ma'am. It's fine now.
I can't hear you though. Okay, so I'll just continue. So yeah, also I would say select the line of business or what you want to want to do. It should be something that you're passionate about, because a lot of us generally tend to join the bandwagon. Today, if some business is a lot of people are starting out. For example, if I would say this tea shops. Today, tea, everybody was opening up a tea shop. Everybody was opening up a kulfi shop. And finally, the whole, just crumbled down. So be innovative, think of something new, and any new idea, a good idea can be a great business model to work on. So if you have a good idea, then take it forward and start this thing. And also perseverance. Today, we want everything to be quick fix. I mean, immediate. Instant results. Today you start business, tomorrow you want to see money, but that doesn't happen in any business. Of course, only in IT and your digital businesses. But when you need to put in, give that much of time. It's just like planting a seed. So as much a plant would take that many days to grow. So that's how your business would also be. So you need to give that much time to uh, develop your business and see it grow. So that is one thing. But if you don't want to take too many risks, then franchising is a great way of starting and doing something. Because in franchising, your risk is half,
Minimal.
and everything is taken care by the franchise. Your marketing to everything is taken care of by your franchisor, so you don't need to worry on those aspects.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, am I audible now?
I can't hear you.
Now, is
Again,
it
you're
audible
muted.
now?
I'm so sorry. I don't know how to connect on this.
Now is it audible, ma'am? No, ma'am.
Sorry.
Still not audible, ma'am.
Can you go to the next question?
Yes, ma'am, sure.
Okay, so the most satisfying moment, if you see, is today when we see a lot of successful franchisees. It is very fulfilling to see them succeed, especially those who have come from very very simple backgrounds, I would say, and see them financially successful is has been very satisfying. I have, if you have to quote for some examples, I would say I have a valet driver. He worked in a third saloon as a valet driver, and he then went on to learn hairdressing and became a stylist in the saloon. And today he owns two saloons. He's a
Oh,
franchisee for two natural salons, and he has come up in life and he's built a career and a business for himself. So it's so happy to see somebody come do so
grow up.
well. Similarly, a lot of women who have been these housewives who have been at and when they come with their husbands and say, I want to take a franchisee, and initially they will keep saying, I will take care, but my husband will also be there to assist me, help me financially, and support me. But then, after a few, once they get the hang of it, you would see that these people are doing so well that they don't need anybody's support, and they've been very successful in running their businesses. And in fact, from one saloon, they take franchisee for the next 2 3 saloons, and when they and the kind of respect and the way the family looks at them itself is so different. So it's so good to see such women blossom into very successful, financially successful, and I mean, it feels very good to see such women.
Yes, ma'am.
Can we do something with audio? I think here.
Still not audible, ma'am.
So, okay, my greatest fear, I would say is I'm more than fear is, I would say I'm not very comfortable, being in the forefront. I mean, especially, okay, as you say, the biggest fear is public speaking, and for me, that is the biggest fear. I'm not too comfortable, going on stage and talking, but though I try to overcome it by probably doing smaller programs and accepting only smaller interactions and this thing. I kind of don't enjoy doing this. So yeah, that's one of the fears that I have. Other than that, I wouldn't say much. Okay, so Yeah, so see, the reason to diversify was because we realized that when we have 600 saloons, we have 600 you know places to showcase products. So we used to sell other brands like L'Oreal shampoo or other products. So then we thought, why not have our own brand? Because we used to use our brand of products, customized products for consumables for our facials and hair care. So we thought, why not bring out our own brands? Because people tend to come and ask, and then they trust the beautician to suggest products for them. So we would end up suggesting some other brand of products. So we thought, why not bring our own brands, since we have almost 600 windows to showcase our products.
Yes.
So yeah, that's how the thought of bringing. And as I told you, Body Shop is one thing has always been in our mind. We wanted to bring up products to similar to Body Shop. So that is why. And if you see, our range is also some with homegrown herbal products that we have incorporated in our products.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, is it audible now?
Okay, so when we started the business, what was your mission at the outset is what you're asking. So when we started, it was to be financially independent. It was to do something, and that was the main reason. So there was no big dream of reaching this many numbers, but finally along the way we realized that a lot of women were interested in this business, and we were partnering with a lot of women. So then slowly it is we Yeah, sorry. So we
No
realized
problem.
that women entrepreneurship, developing women entrepreneurs and empowering women slowly became our vision. So today we have more than 400 women entrepreneurs who are our franchise partners, and they are very successful, both financially and very confident women, I would say.
That's nice, ma'am.
Is there something we can do about the volume?
Yes, ma'am. Now, how did you come up with the name for your company, ma'am?
Name of the company?
Yes, ma'am.
So name, as I was saying, is we wanted to try a lot of natural products and services in the salon. So we thought the name Naturals is would be very apt for it, and Naturals, people like herbal products. So again, that the brand name Naturals would definitely attract people to for a salon, because then your perception is a lot of natural products are
To look
used.
for natural
Today also
products.
people come and ask, do you use natural products? But yeah, so that is one of the reasons.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, during this quarantine, is it advisable for an entrepreneur to start up their business?
Yeah, today I think with a lot of people losing jobs, I think entrepreneurship is something that people have to look at. Starting small micro businesses is going to be the in thing, because a lot of people are getting laid off, and so it would be good to look at what opportunities are there to start your business, something on your own. Today, a lot of them are looking at it. So
And but is it the
either
right
from
time now?
home, digitally, doing something. I mean, online. A lot of women are doing online businesses, but I think that's going to be the way forward. To keep looking at what new business that you could do. Have to start something. And we are also looking at on that line, small starting. Trying to figure. Encourage people to start small businesses with lesser investment of saying, well, say about 2 lakhs to 5 lakhs, something within that, because today finance and money is also going to be a big challenge. So
Yes.
yeah. Can you do
Yes, ma'am. So
something about the
things that
audio?
yes, ma'am. Actually, I'm able to hear you.
Four things. Okay, what are the
Yes,
4
ma'am. What
things
are the
you
four
wish
things you
someone
wish
had told
someone
you
had told
about
you
being
about
an
being an entrepreneur?
entrepreneur? uh, 4 things I would first say. One is you need to have patience. I wish people had, told us, yes, it's not going to be an overnight, success.
Yeah, success.
It took us 20 years to be where we are today. So I think when you start, if people could tell you that, it is not so easy that you can turn things around immediately, but that is that's one thing I would wish people had told us, that it will take time. And the other this thing would be trying to keep looking for new to what do I say, reinvent, keep learning new things, because today you have to keep changing and adapting to today's business. What I did 20 years back, I cannot be doing today. So what we did
Dynamic environment.
then doesn't work today. So we need to keep adapting and keep changing as the market requires and as the customer requires. So that's one thing that I wish people, I mean, we should know when we are starting a business, we should know that we have to adapt, because today and being in a service industry, you're servicing customers. So you should know what they want. So you can't be doing what you want. Like I said, I love to do natural products. We used to do fruit facials and all. But I then realized that we have to be doing what a customer wants. If a customer doesn't like it, I cannot be doing that. So I need to keep changing and giving the customer what they want.
Yes.
Yeah, and the other thing is, money is not everything. So of course you do business to make money, but besides that, there's something more. Today we've learned that what gives us more satisfaction is, initially we started to make, I would say, 60,000, as we normally say. That is in most of our stories. We say when we started, we wanted to make that. That was a break even to
Yes.
run the business. So I wanted to make that 60,000 profit. But today it is different. Today we see that so many of our franchisees have made a livelihood for themselves. To see that itself is finally much more fulfilling than that money that we wanted to make. In fact, we had one franchisee. A lot of times we've told this, who was in Karur. She was from a very wealthy background, but she wanted to start the saloon in Karur. This was when we were in the 15th or 16th saloon, and we at that time Karur was a small town, so we thought a saloon there, it may not kind of work out there, because it's a very small town and people may not be open to unisex saloons. But she insisted. So, but seeing that, okay, she could afford it, even if she lost, it wasn't a big loss for her. So we thought, okay, we agreed to it. And a year later, she called up. In fact, she called my husband and said, today I've made 50,000 profit. And so my husband, good, it's very happy to hear. She said, the most important thing about this is not the 50,000 money, but this is my money. This is what I've earned. Don't have to account for it to anybody, my husband or children. This is my personal money and I can spend it the way I want to. So, when you hear such stories, you feel, okay, so you've done somewhere along the line, you've gone on to do something good. Yeah.
That's lovely, man. And if you could start over again, which career line would you choose and why, man?
Which career line I would have chosen? Back then, I didn't think there were too many choices. Maybe I would have gone on to start a play school. But I don't think I had the mindset to go and work anywhere.
Yes. That's nice, man. Ma'am, is the transition from offline to online adaptable for all entrepreneurs and all industries, ma'am?
Yeah, I think today that's the way forward. No, today everybody has to, go on online, because online is everybody. I mean, especially today, lockdown has shown us, you sit at home and everything is coming to your
At the
doorstep.
doorstep.
Nobody is stepping out. Even older people are adapted to that, and
Yes.
today can order anything. So Dunzo is doing that for us. Swiggy is doing that for us. So I think we have to adapt, otherwise we'll be left behind. So to keep up with the world, I think we need to quickly adapt.
Yes.
So technology has taught has taught
Everything is
us to
possible.
adapt and grow.
True, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
What is
In our Indian society, women are still looked down and are restricted to household work. What are your advice for them to achieve their entrepreneurship dreams?
Yeah, yes. Even today, in our society, women are, not encouraged to go out
Yes,
and go work, which is, I mean, though it is changing, but still there are, being this in the city, urban places, I think the change is coming. But if you see, I think we should take that decision and take that step forward. Of course, you need the support of family, but somewhere that decision has to be taken by you, that you want to do something
you
and
can do.
become financially independent, even if it is for a small, may not be huge money, but something to keep you financially independent, because that is your self esteem, your self respect is based on that,
Yes,
because so you find even in the smaller villages, women have always been working. Not that they have not, but then they've never been recognized for it. You have
recognize.
them working in the farms, you have them working outside. They also have been supporting in the lower cadre. Rungs of society. You see, women have to work to keep their family going. It's only in the middle class and
They
upper
have these
middle class where
restrictions.
women going to work is not looked as this thing. They'll say your husband's earning well, why do you want to go to work? That's the normal this thing. It's like taboo to work, but I think it's changing. People are doing a lot from home, and they should do that. They should take the decision that yes, whatever you want to do, till they understand. Sometimes they may not want you to go out and work. You could always, today the opportunities are so huge, you could work from home, you could do something, a lot of online businesses. I'm part of a jury member for this event called Homepreneurs.
Oh,
So
yes, ma'am.
here
I've
we
heard.
recognize women who do businesses from home, small businesses from home. When you see they're so talented, doing so much, and they're earning also so much from home. So
Yes, ma'am.
it's not that you cannot do; it's your mindset. So you also need to be stand firm and say, yes, I will do. I can take care of our home as well as take care of my own business. But I think the decision uh, is from within you. You need to take that stand.
The first step. Yes, ma'am. Do you believe in this formula? Like, what is the formula you believe in to become a successful entrepreneur? Or do you believe there is a formula?
The formula for a successful entrepreneur, I think, I think all put together, like what I've been saying, a lot of it is not a very easy journey. Any entrepreneurship, any business is not an easy journey. You will have your ups and downs, so you should have the mindset to face that. You should not. I think perseverance is one most important quality that you need to have
Everyone super.
as an entrepreneur, and when you have your downs, you should be quick enough to think what to do next, to revoke that, and take the next step to
Yes,
turn it around. So yeah, that's something very important, and you need to be quick to change, because a lot of times what we have
adapt.
started probably at that point of time was something that was required uh, for the society or for customers, but today it has changed. So you need to be quick to adapt and change. You can't think and say, oh, I started it then, but now I cannot, I have to continue doing that. If it's not required today, you have to know how to change, adapt, and
Change.
move forward.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, when you started your business, what was your mission at the outset? Mission goal?
This I think we did, no? This
Yes, ma'am.
question.
Like, no, ma'am. We did a similar question, like where you wanted to like capture the market. Like, what
Sorry,
exactly was?
can't hear
Uh,
you. What is this?
yes, ma'am. Then we go on to the next. There are so many personalities in life you'd have met in media, ma'am. So among these, who comes to your mind first when you think is beautiful inwardly and outwardly?
This is a little difficult question to answer. Uh, yeah, I've met a lot of people. I think Sudha Murthy was one person I met a year back at a women's forum. I thought she's somebody that I really admire. So, from the background that she is to what she is today, and the kind of good goodwill that she's generated, and the way she's helping society through her foundations and organization is something commendable. I think I admire her for what she is. I have met her, so I think she's somebody, and she's so simple and so warm-hearted in person. Also,
That's lovely, ma'am.
she's somebody I admire. Yes. So all of them, I think, all celebrities have their, are very human, and most of them are.
Yes.
We don't see
Ma'am,
that side there.
yes, ma'am. Ma'am, natural color and a college color is same. Is there any coincidence or
Uh, yeah, maybe. See, purple is for abundance, prosperity.
yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so I think that we didn't know then when we we wanted to look. We wanted a color which was not too
Appealing?
feminine or not too, like
Yes,
blue
yes, ma'am.
generally is associated with men. So, and pink is for women. So we didn't want to have that. So we wanted something neutral, and that's how we, selected this purple as a brand color. And then we realized purple stands for prosperity, abundance, and yeah, so it suited very well.
That's nice. Thank you so much for taking time off, ma'am. That was really nice of you. And
It's a
now,
pleasure.
thank you so much, ma'am. I now call
Pleasure.
upon.
Sorry about this. I think we've. I just can't hear you. I don't know because this technology glitch, as you call it. But I enjoyed talking to you, and thank you all for hearing us out. I hope it was interesting.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. I now call upon Dr. Sharmila Radhakrishnan, Associate Professor, to deliver the vote of thanks.
On behalf of the Department of Commerce, Etheraj College for Women, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to Mrs. Veena Kumaravel for having taken the time out to interact with the participants today. Thank you, ma'am, for taking us through your
Thank you.
entrepreneurial journey. In today's world, we need passionate problem solvers, and I'm confident that your session will kindle the spirit of entrepreneurship in the young minds. I would also
Thank
like to
you.
thank the attendees today for their enthusiastic participation. Looking forward to connecting with you all tomorrow for day 3 of Alumni Connect. Thank you and have a nice day.
Thank you.
We have now come to the conclusion of the day 2 of the webinar series titled Alumni Connect, Our Pride, Your Inspiration. Let us connect tomorrow for the day 3 session of the webinar series at the same time. The feedback link will be posted in the live chat, one for the faculty and one for the student. I repeat again, the feedback link will be posted separately, one for the faculty and one for the students. Kindly ensure that you fill the correct feedback link. The link will be open only for 1 hour. See you tomorrow. Have a good day. Thank you. Ma.